Let's go to Vince in San Francisco. Vince, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, guys? First off, I want to say, Bonte, you're doing a good job because I could have swore I thought I was listening to Guru earlier when you went off on Chasky. Now that Aiyuk has requested the trade, I am curious because there are some guys who are under contract with high salaries, and I know George Kittle and I can't remember who, Eric Armstead both restructured to make room to re-sign Debo. I don't know if there's any more players on the roster right now who could do something like that. That's number one. Second, you mentioned it earlier, the Niners do have leverage. They possibly have 2 more years with Brandon Aiyuk no matter what, because he is under contract, and if he plays, like you said, he could still be tagged going into the offseason after next year. Third was, I think the Niners have already been preparing for this moment with the draft picks that they made. They drafted 2 receivers, and they re-signed JJ. So I don't know if the drop-off is going to be as dramatic, because I feel like Brandon Aiyuk does eat off of all the attention that's given to CMC, George Kittle, and Debo. So I'm not going to say that he's not a good receiver. I do want him on the team. I don't want to see him play for anybody else. But if this is a route that the Niners are going to have to go down, what if we do trade him away? Is there anybody in the market or anybody that we can get? I think we need a cornerback, which I feel like if we do trade BA, let's try to get a top-tier cornerback for him, because we do have JJ, and we still have an unknown in the rookie and Pearsall, and there's another receiver that we drafted that's supposed to be better than Pearsall. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be as bad as it sounds.
Yeah.
It is all fresh, and I don't want BA to leave, but if he leaves, it is what it is.
Yeah. Hey, Vince, it's a very good call. You talk about the young man from Arizona, Cowling, a little 5'8", shifty guy. Who knows what he is? He does run nice routes. Now, we got an update from Adam Schefter. Schefter, ESPN. Sources. Other teams that have reached out and spoken to San Francisco have been told that the 49ers have no intention of trading disgruntled wide receiver Brandon Aiyuk, who officially is requesting a trade. 49ers open training camp next week. So other teams have already reached out saying, what's up with Brandon Aiyuk? What do you want? Look, and the Niners have said, no, we're not trading this guy. The Niners know how good Brandon Aiyuk is.
But let's play the finances of this. So $15 million guaranteed this year is what the Niners.
14.1.
Yeah, he's going to get that no matter what. That is cooked, ready to go for him. If they keep him, okay, and franchise him, he gets guaranteed in that year. If he signs the tenure, guaranteed the average of the top five of the top 5. So he would be getting himself approximately $40 million guaranteed. Now, it's not the $80 million guaranteed that he wants. But look around the league. Brock Purdy's been playing for peanuts compared to that. Peanuts compared to that.
Well, he won't be next year.
He needs to show. No,
he won't be next year.
Brandon Aiyuk needs to realize, he needs to read the room and realize your best opportunity is to have a monster year again here. If they franchise tag you and then trade you away, you don't need to sign that tenure. You could get a new extension like A.J. Brown did with a new team, or like Tyreek Hill did, and you'll still get your money. If you win a championship, everybody get on board. Let's play Kumbaya for one more year. You're gonna get money. It's not like you're getting $400,000.
That all sounds good in the perfect world, and I agree. I would love for that to happen. But you also have to look at the other side of things. And there's people talking to him, his agents, his family. What if that doesn't happen? What if you don't produce the same way last year because certain guys get hurt? What if Trent Williams is out for 5 games? What if Christian McCaffrey, because what we haven't talked about yet, which we will at some point in the offseason, is with Christian McCaffrey had so many touches last year, that next season for running backs is not pretty. How does he recover from last year seeing all those touches? What if he's out a few games? What if Debo's out again? What if all these things happen? Because football is a physical sport. Guys are going to get hurt. We don't know who's going to get hurt, but guys are going to get hurt. How does that impact his numbers?
So this is what I said.
Hold on. How does it impact his value? And then all that sounds good, and all of a sudden you're looking for your money. You're saying, damn, I missed out. I didn't get my money because X, Y, and Z happened.
Well, no, I would say that if Christian McCaffrey has a drop-off, cut. Like, that's what they'll do. And if Trent Williams... is that not the NFL? Is that not the NFL?
Wow.
They did it to Kyle Juszczyk this year. They were like, I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, in your scenario, McCaffrey suffers an injury and he's out for... They're going to renegotiate that money. That's what the league does. I mean, they did it with George Kittle multiple times. They did it with Kyle Juszczyk. They will do it again. And then, like, let's say, hypothetically, things go bad this year. Well, then Trent's coming off the books. And then now, Brandon, I do have extra money to give you.
But then Brandon Aiyuk saying, you know what? I don't want to be here no more.
So then
because all these guys are gone.
That's the time
all these
that
guys
I trade
are gone.
you away.
So you can't, and then you can't take that risk because what if you pull a hammy and you miss 7 games like Justin Jefferson and they don't respect you like Justin Jefferson, or they don't respect you like Jalen Waddle because they're saying, you know what? We don't throw the ball a lot. Here's a great tweet from Warren Sharp. Warren Sharp football is great. Forget counting stats as it relates to determining Brandon Aiyuk's value. Since trading for McCaffrey, the Niners throw the ball at the number 32 rate in the NFL and operate at a slow pace. Number 28 in offensive snaps. They love to play ball control, right? So he's not going to put up massive numbers in that environment, which, by the way, makes his season last year all the more impressive, considering that they're last in the league. Great year. Right? Aiyuk ranked number 1 in the NFL in yards per target. Aiyuk ranked number 1 in the NFL in percentage of first downs or TDs per target. He's an outstanding asset in San Francisco, but we'll never see his ceiling in his offense. And maybe Brady Aiyuk considered that. He's saying, you know what? You guys don't want to pay me. Let me go somewhere else so I can really show the world who I am as a wide receiver because I'll never be able to show it here with all these mouths to feed and the way we operate offensively.
I would say to him, good luck with that because I've seen guys like George Pickens who have all the talent in the world play with crummy quarterbacks. I mean, when he had Kenny Pickett, and the guy was on a milk carton. Like, just be careful what you wish for because there are a lot of quarterbacks looking up at where Brock Purdy is in the rankings. There's a lot of wide receivers that are looking at their situation saying, damn, I would love to play on a team like the 49ers. Well, I didn't get crushed on every single play and double bracketed.
Well, you could also look at it the other side, saying, be careful what you wish for when it comes to Brock Purdy about to get paid, and he doesn't have his top target out there in the pass game. King85 spent $5 on YouTube. This is 100% the 49ers' fault. If you know JJ's contract is looming, you get ahead of it by getting BA contract done immediately, like Philadelphia did with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. And Brandon, I wanted to get the damn deal done quickly. 888-957-9570.
That's his point of view. We don't know.
That's what he said. He came out there and said
that it takes 2 to tango. And if you were asking me how I weigh it right now, because we don't have all the information, both parties are why we are where we are. The Niners and other money they spent, the Niners and whatever hung them up from signing earlier, and then also whatever Brandon Aiyuk's asking for. We've only heard Brandon Aiyuk's point of view.
Right.
We haven't heard from John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan. I haven't heard from Parag. Maybe it was one of them, no. We don't want to give you, 78 million guaranteed. We only want to give you 71. I don't know that. So I'm going to assume both parties are at fault.
888-957-9570. Let's go to Dave in Fresno, who I think agrees with you with both parties being at fault. And I agree with you, too. Both parties are at fault here. What's up, Dave?
Man, hey, guys. Joe, you took the words right in my mouth. That's the reason I was calling. I think, all the attention right now is on Aiyuk, and I think I can speak for most. We don't agree with how he's handling it, but you understand he's trying to get paid. But at the same time, you got to look at the Niners, too. As an organization, you're supposed to see these things coming sometimes 2, maybe 3 years in advance. Like, you think the Chiefs didn't want to keep Tyreek? They just knew that, hey, we love you, Tyreek, but we can't afford you because we have other players we need to pay. When you're a top team, like you guys said,
Dave, but would it, Dave, real quick, though, and maybe the Niners view Brock Purdy in this light, but the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes. They feel like Patrick Mahomes makes a lot of people better. Do we know that yet about Brock Purdy? As good as Brock Purdy was, can he elevate an offense like Patrick Mahomes did with the Kansas City Chiefs, Dave?
I don't know. That remains to be seen. But at the same time, the Niners are a loaded team. They have resources at every position. You have a top running back, top left tackle, a top tight end. Receiving core is pretty stacked. And you have a stacked defense, too. Let's not forget, you're paying the other side of the ball, too. You have a top-paid linebacker, a top-paid edge rusher.
They're top at 7 positions.
Yeah, well, the edge rusher didn't play like a top end, and we could talk about that all day long. Bosa's got to show up this year. You got paid all that money, and he made all those excuses. And in the Super Bowl, I watched him on the last possession in the regulation. We saw it, Shasky. Why is Bosa not on the field? It's the last possession of regulation. Max Crosby would never. Plays every snap. I got Nick Bosa here getting all the money in the world, so I don't even want to go there with Nick Bosa because it's not about Nick Bosa. But all these top end players, I see him do one of the conversations about Debo last year, and I'm probably the biggest Debo fan. I wanted him drafted here.
Yeah.
Debo, they're like, he needs to, like, when he's not getting the ball, he needs to play hard. There's a thing where he's not getting the ball, he doesn't play hard. He doesn't run block. He doesn't do all these things here, which you need to do in this offense, which, again, Warren Sharp pointed at it. They're number 32 in the league in pass attempts. They love to run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. I know with Brandon Aiyuk, he's going to play hard every damn down. Doesn't that count for something?
It does.
Doesn't that count for playing, buying into the brick by brick physicality? We're going to run you into the ground nature at the wide receiver position. That guy gets into it with DBs every single game because he's trying to be physical, trying to spring big-time runs for Christian McCaffrey. That should count for something. Hell, it counts for George Kittle, and we watched in the Super Bowl. How many targets George Kittle have in the Super Bowl? 2 or 3? I forget. It wasn't enough.
Look,
and I'm paying him top tight end money.
Of course I want you to play hard, right? But they do different things, and they're asked to do different stuff. Like, here's a great example. When it comes to Aiyuk, like, do I think he's the greatest at alley-oop, high pointing the ball in the red zone? No. So not everyone has every great skill set in the bag. Debo's there are times when he's used as a decoy, and he kind of gives up on the play. Right? Not everyone is going to be proficient at every single thing on the field. It's the reality of where we're at. And so you're not going to be a perfect player, right? Brandon Aiyuk brings a lot to the table that everybody likes, Monte. We want to keep the guy, right? No one's saying that they're doing him dirty. Like, he's got $15 million staring him in the face this year. Do you know what Deebo Samuel got at guarantee for signing? Do you know what he got the day he signed that deal? About $40 million. Yep. Okay?
The market was different, right?
What?
The market was different then, though.
But my point being,
yesterday's price ain't today's price.
If you're combining what he could guarantee next year and if they went franchise tag and what he's making this year, that's the same $40 million. Yeah. Right? So cry me a river on I could have a down year. And I would argue this as well. Brock Purdy is part of the reason why Aiyuk had that year. Brock Purdy is part of the reason we feel good about Kittle again this year because he had a bounce back season. Brock Purdy's part of the reason I think Christian McCaffrey had the monster year he had. Those guys are all individually great.
No doubt.
But Brock also puts it all together.
He does. But isn't Brandon Aiyuk there? Like, hey, you know what? And look, that's what I'm saying right now. Let's see how good Brock Purdy is without Brandon Aiyuk.
I want to see them all play together.
Listen.
I want to win a Super Bowl.
No doubt. But I saw Brock Purdy play without Trent Williams and Deebo Samuel, and it was 17. So
then why would you want to see that?
Because you guys don't want to pay Brandon Aiyuk. Let's just see how good this offense is without Brandon Aiyuk.
It's not that we want to not pay Brandon Aiyuk. You can't.
Shasky, realistically, no, I want Brandon Aiyuk to be a 49er for the rest of his career. I love Brandon Aiyuk. I love Deebo. I love Kittle. I love all these guys. I love Brock Purdy. Damn it. With the trading camp, I'm thinking, I don't think we've had weapons like this. But damn it, you want to pay Brock Purdy $60 million and you want to move off of Brandon Aiyuk, knowing that we got 1 year left in Deebo Samuel, knowing that his body breaks down? That's the thing, man. When you pay these guys, I get it. Injury is a risk. When you don't have a contract, when you do have a contract, injuries are a thing. It could deplete an offense, no doubt about it. But I'm going into next season knowing that Christian McCaffrey had over 400 touches last season, knowing that Deebo Samuel didn't finish 2 of the 3 playoff games. George Kittle, we saw the end of the receiver, Doc. The guy couldn't even suit up for half the drive in overtime.
But this is why they drafted Pearsall. Like, I think the one thing that college has given you is a plethora of wide receivers. Are there misses? Of course there are. There are more great players at wide receiver than ever before. Ever before.
Right.
And if you look at, like, supply and demand, are there any other Christian McCaffreys out there? No. Are there any other Trent Williamses out there? No. How many George Kittle types are out there?
I don't know, but we gave George Kittle 4 targets in the Super Bowl. How many targets George Kittle have in the Super Bowl?
Not
3
enough.
Targets, 2 catches, 4 yards.
But that's the final game.
And then in Super Bowl 54, same thing.
Stuff happens.
Like, his stuff happens. And the receiver didn't even show the drop pass he had in the Green Bay game for crying out loud.
I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, like, you could make the argument, like, how many guys do what Deebo does? Not many. How many guys do what Aiyuk does?
Well, if Aiyuk's on that field, does it allow Deebo to be Deebo? Because can Deebo be Deebo without Brandon Aiyuk?
I mean, he was pretty damn good the year of 2021 when he was carrying the offense with Jimmy G at quarterback. I thought he was pretty special.
Well, it was also Jimmy G overthrowing Brandon Aiyuk over and over and over again.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, I want all the parts of the engine. But, again, you can't have chrome-plated, gold-plated engine parts all across the board.
You know, we forget, too, when Brock Purdy came alive in 2023, we also forget, I know we're going to break here, we're going to get to TC Rich, 888-957-9570. Breaking news, Brandon Aiyuk has requested a trade from the 49ers. What are your thoughts on that? Should the 49ers just acquiesce to his request and say, you know what, here we go. Go ahead, trade Brandon Aiyuk, or Spinoni, what's up?
On the other side, we have a very interesting sound to get to because the news broke during the Rich Eisen show and Tom Pelissero was filling in. And guess who joined him and was joining him at the time? Diamador Lenore will have
No
his
way.
exact reaction to this
Wow.
and the
Wow.
impact it could have
Wow.
with his teammates and players in the locker room.
Who's also a free agent
he
next
is.
year,
And he wants his
making
money.
significantly less in BA.
Yeah.
Should he hold out?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Can we
Why
just
not?
honor the money
Why not?
once?
Why not?
All of these guys?
Why? When these teams, you just said, oh, well, if the Chris McCaffrey gets hurt tonight, you can cut him in a heartbeat. That's why you do what you do if
But
you're
it's
Brendan
in,
Aiyuk.
but
you
there's
do it
dead
when
cap money, and
these
it's
guys
in
are
the contract. It's in the contract. I can cut you.
All right. Well, that's why Brendan Aiyuk needs to get his money now because he knows it's in the contract he can get cut.